Today, we're gonna go over everything we discussed and finalize what we're gonna add or remove, and then decide how we're gonna try to reduce the amount to be raised by taxes. So I guess we could start right at the beginning. Let's see. Sheldon, you have everything from the meeting was posted, so. Yeah, point. It was all updated, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we, you wanna go?
Well, I thought we'd
Changes?
gone through all of the A funds.
Yeah.
And then we needed to finish up with the.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't make any official on-record changes in the B fund yet.
Right.
And we had a couple of questions on A fund that we have to go back to. That I said we've discussed.
I think it's.
What page are we coming to?
B fund is page. $32. Oh,
33.
$33.
That's for committees clerk?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, 1220. Okay, so we, that category, actually, we took out, well, we took out of the budget, but Amber, just remind me.
No, what we do with this line is that we assign the budget, the numbers,
To each
the
committee.
dollar amount to each committee. But then when we get into actually posting it for accounting purposes, we do a budget transfer that moves all of that committee person's hours and budget into this, so that we're only posting for ADP in one line
Right,
instead of
okay.
8 different lines.
Mhm.
So it's just purely for accounting purposes.
Even and before Judy have me there, I think it was like 5 lines, I think.
Not in the B fund. I think we do consolidate you in the A fund.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, I don't think you have any B fund committees.
One CBA.
OCBA.
Okay, MTA payroll tax, this is what Barbara was notified we can expect. E-fund contingent, I have a little asterisk next to this. Yeah, Amber, this is something we have to decide if we feel
For
comfortable.
the B fund contingent?
Yeah,
Is this contract-related contingent?
No, no, because there's not that much in.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, Shelby can tell us what we've done with the contingent. Because we adopted 16,000 as a contingent, but we've expended it. Some of it had to go to planning board professional fees. I think that was a big chunk. Was there
Salary stuff,
Yes,
code enforcement.
yes, code enforcement, that's right.
So there's no numbers in here in terms of balance through. Am I looking at the wrong?
no,
No, oh, okay.
The 1990.400.
Yeah.
saying through
So we
831,
adopted
we
16.
didn't, we don't
Yes,
show
we
it.
adopted 16,000. We've since reallocated that 16,000 to other lines.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Such
So,
as professional fees, planning board, code enforcement.
so you don't make a note then when you transfer funds out of here that, how much?
Yeah, it's all in the, I brought up that code, I could show you the details. It's
Okay.
all done in resolutions.
Okay.
Yes.
The money gets taken from there and put into the other
Yeah.
ones.
So the question is, were the odd transfers, or do we, is
was not.
10,000 enough? or-
No, because we're pulling from fund balance now.
Oh, okay. So do you know what the number is? Like, can you, that we've,
Well, we've used all of that and then,
yeah.
I think,
yeah, I could look at like what we've pulled from fund balance. It would be in resolutions that you
Right.
guys have done
Yeah,
this
as
year.
if. I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to add to that.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
it
I'm
probably
just trying
should
to
be,
figure,
it should
yeah.
probably be 20,000.
Okay.
But we are going to review the lines that got increased
Yes.
with last year's contingent to make sure that they're at the.
That we covered them in their own lines. Right, all right, so we're putting 20 with a question mark.
But this is the first year, I believe, and Shelby can check when we're going through it, that we've ever utilized all of the B fund contingent.
Really,
All right, so let's make a list of where we used it. Okay,
we'll revisit this after detail.
okay, contract the license review board, it's just a 3% increase on the clerk. Really doesn't get spent too much.
Because we haven't,
We haven't been able to find anybody.
Yeah, we still need to.
We need to find that person who's never gonna do any work on their house again. That is,
Okay, building department, I don't have any changes. Fire marshal, I don't have any changes. I mean, if anybody else does, shout.
Just on
Let's
the
just sit
building
down,
department, the request for the second clerk was 40 hours. You took it to 35 hours.
Right,
it's that big a difference, huh?
So, the question is, Reed came in and made his case.
That he needs that. He needs that time.
but we had taken it up to the 35 hours.
we did.
We did, we went to
Went from-
35.
From
Yeah,
30
we went
to
from 30 to
35, but-
35.
Like he wanted 40?
He was asking
He was asking for 40, yeah. One thing you could say is the revenues have increased significantly in the building department and continue to add revenues to support the building department. The department's getting stretched, you know.
They are, and they get foiled a lot, and that's essentially what she spends most of her time doing is completing FOIL requests. They just take so much time
Yeah.
out of their day.
That's something that the public should be made aware of across this town for foils in general, you know, just, and there's a handful of people who are responsible for, you know, spending X number of taxpayer money.
No.
And for what reason? And I understand if it's for a reasonable, good, solid cause where you foil something, but some of these requests are outrageous and long and
Yeah, I would be comfortable going from 30 to 35 hours.
No, she is at 35.
No, she's at
No, she's
30.
not sure.
Oh, I thought, oh, okay, I misunderstood the question. All right, is that your number then? 29 is 35?
Yes.
What, is 29 30 or 35? That's 30.
The
no, it's
29,000.
29, the
The
35.
department, yeah, 35 is 40 hours,
Would have been 40.
29 is 35
I
hours.
think, how about we do that? How about we make that intermediate step? And if it doesn't work, he comes back next year and says, it's not working, I still need more hours. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I shall go with what I proposed.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else in building? I wasn't here for that meeting, so.
Yeah, I mean, his rationale was if 35 hours, she has to be here 5 days a week anyway, but it's like half days for some of those. Like, it's not full days, so it made sense to just have her full days. Because then it would just be more productive.
Yeah,
It's not like she could just take a day off. It, just
Right.
the way the hours rolled out, it didn't.
well, it's 7 hours a day. Take it, so that's, right, an hour off for lunch. So it's not terrible. It's kind of common around these parts. The other,
Oh, go ahead.
I just also wanted to just talk about the building inspector, not Reed.
That's a different line.
No, top, Brett,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah. Well, I just, the notion that, that there's overtime there that's often not
Utilized?
put in for.
Oh, yes, oh, yeah.
I think that's, and so I was just wondering if that then is not a fair request on the department's part. Should we just encourage, put in for the overtime?
Let's put in for the overtime.
Yeah,
Because,
encourage that.
yeah, I mean, legally,
Really should happen.
yes,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, and that's where that should,
So then the overtime should probably go back to 3,000.
yeah. Mhm. Definitely.
So we're going from 1,400 to 3,000.
Wait a minute. We budgeted last year 14 in both. Why are you saying 3,000?
Because that's what the budget has been, but it hasn't been, like, we haven't utilized it, but the,
But it says adopted 14
Yeah,
in overtime.
last year, right.
Yeah.
So we're saying bring it back up to 3,000, which is the department.
What his proposal, well, it's not bring it back up, it's
No.
put it at 3,000.
Oh, correct, just, yes, yes. And tell the department that the town board wishes that they take it. When it's
When
earned.
they do it, they
Yeah.
have to,
Yes.
they have to file for.
Justified.
yeah, they have to put it
It
in.
has to be approved, pre-approved, and it has to be.
Are we putting it back to 3?
No, just 2-3. To 3.
Yeah, so we're adding 1,600 there.
Okay.
So back to Association of Towns. They've got
Setting 3.
3 people going for 3 days, and 1 person going for 2 days. So that would be,
Is it $1,200 a day for those?
Who would the
three?
fourth, who would the one for 2 days be?
Mary Ellen. I think
She goes? This course is far?
I think so,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I don't think she'd be for 3 days.
I don't think she had to go for the whole time. I know the rest of the building inspectors go for the.
They have to go for their certification, yeah.
Yeah. So if that's the case, it's $5,300 between 2 departments.
So it's 2,000 here, and I have 3,500 zoning. I don't know why I have that note.
Yeah, I wrote down the 2,000, because Michael is only zoning. It is, okay. Let me read you my note.
So what do we have? What's the total come to
It should,
altogether?
So it'd be 2,000 here. So we put 2,000 in the building department for Association of Towns.
and 3,500 in zoning, right?
Yes,
Which I've already got, yeah.
which is on page 36, 9B, 0.483,
What does that become? I'm sorry.
3,500.
And the building department becomes,
2,000. It's a net pickup of 600.
So Association of Towns for the building department drops down to 200?
2,000.
2,000, sorry.
2,000, correct. From
I didn't picture any
36.
zeros in my head.
And then you're adding the 1,000 from 2,500 to 3,500 on page 36, Association of Towns.
so it's a $1,500 increase.
No, because we're dropping Association of Towns in the building department by 1,600,
And here you're
and
increasing
we're
it
picking
by
up 1,000, so it's a net
6.
Wait a minute. Building department
Association of Towns.
is 2,000.
Yes,
Okay, that's what I proposed. Oh, no, I proposed 36. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so
Okay.
1,600 there, and you're losing 1,000. So
Gotcha.
yes, it's a plus
Okay.
600.
Okay. Okay. Okay, anything else in building?
and just when you weren't here, Reed was asking to restore to 4,000 the office and miscellaneous.
Yeah,
I think that's what Jim had said, you know, we have to look at some places we can tighten our belts a little. And
that's one of them.
be one of them.
Yeah. And they have to be conscious of the budget when they're
Yeah.
ordering stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to take a tour of supply closets.
Well, I was just in conversation yesterday, the printer and the, in our office, the color copies are out of this world.
Yeah,
Price-wise.
We pay for, X amount and
Yeah, we
Right.
like 7,000 color
allocate
copies.
amount and then you have to pay when you go above and beyond.
Right. so that's a leased machine?
Crazy. Yes.
Well, so we've been doing a lot for the
Yeah,
housing and the
Yeah.
land and we
right.
have to,
Again,
you have to be aware of
That
that.
came into the
Well, start
decision with this,
using the,
this machine right here. When this machine
tells you
broke,
comp plan it, you know what I
it
mean?
was cheaper to get a
And
new
there's other
machine than
pockets
it
of-
was.
Yeah,
for
we're pretty
money
good about
in the
keeping
Yeah.
track of
Yes.
that
Yes.
stuff.
We had 4 or 5 cartridges worth
Yeah,
more than what the machine was worth.
right.
So we went with the same
Right.
brand machine because it paid.
Yeah,
You know, why throw out
Right.
all those cartridges couldn't be used in anything
Exactly.
else, so.
yeah.
Okay, anything else in building?
If it doesn't make sense for us to like use one, have one machine, never mind.
Okay, fire marshal, you guys have any notes, fire marshal? Okay, next to it, then zoning department.
It was 3% across the board, and you went from DeSantis from 30 hours to 40 hours?
35.
35 it went to?
He proposed 40, I proposed 30, same as clerk.
All right. We'll go with your number.
So again, here with the overtime to do it, give what the department proposed.
Yes. Just plus 1,600.
That equipment line didn't get used all this year.
Is that just they're waiting until year end to make sure?
Usually, yeah, Kev, that's, would that be Kevin's, just,
No, no, it'd be for things that they use back there. So I don't know.
So wait till the end.
Okay.
Yeah. They utilized it last year?
You know, the maintenance on electric vehicles, just by the way, it'd be interesting to track this over a couple of years. It's supposed to be far less. You know, you don't do oil changes, you don't, it's just supposed to be a cheaper car to own.
I actually did not use that equipment line last year.
one building.
About building, yeah.
I just looked at building and now I'm looking at zoning.
I mean,
But it was a lot less last year.
but if you came in and said, we really need a fill in the blank, equipment should be something you think about, you know, that you know it's kind of coming up.
By the way, with those battery costs, those batteries underneath the vehicle is,
I don't know where they are
I
stored.
don't know, I was just saying with the saltwater flooding, you know, we need to be very cognizant of where we drive those things during storms,
Good point.
you know?
Yeah.
And we don't take them out through a foot of salt water,
Yeah.
because those batteries are expensive. They would corrode.
Why did we budget so much for this year with that? Were they gonna get like a new copier or
I
something?
was gonna say, I think they had a new copy.
So maybe we should,
Let's find out.
That should be
because the year before that I'm looking that was unspent is much less than this. It was like 600 and
Let me just,
the copy machine.
700.
That's what I was asking, does Kevin have something?
Yeah, because he does a rotation.
I have notes on this.
Right.
Certain other computers, so.
All right, let's highlight that and ask Reed,
maybe that's text him and ask.
both zoning and,
Yeah.
Could probably sweat out.
We should put page of that in here.
Yeah.
he put on for more, that's why I want to make sure that,
Oh.
Okay.
Actually, it was good we had it this year because we probably transferred it for the car. 'Cause we bought two cars.
So we will if they don't use it.
Yeah. Are you cold? Really? I have a sweater on.
Oh, it's silly. It's absolutely silly. You're freezing.
Okay, so we'll wait to hear from Reed on that.
Mhm.
ZBA? Yeah, really? Any notes on ZBA?
Nothing.
Same with planning board?
I don't have any notes on it.
Now, I see the proposal, I have an increased fees with a question mark, but we'll do that in revenues. But professional services, again, Ian had proposed 50,000 and I'm proposing, or just keep it at 30.
Well, if we can increase fees to cover the deficit, then.
But they shouldn't need as much this year,
Yeah,
because
that was
taking over the wetlands applications, they spent, their attorney spent a lot of time, like, setting up the review procedures, some new resolution, just, I think once it's settled down.
Mhm.
Yeah, because they're on pace to exceed that right now. They're on pace to do 34,000.
Or move back to town board.
Okay.
Right, but it
Well,
says,
I think, yeah, and I think that she'll be able to let her aide, her assistant, what do you call the legal?
Sarah.
Thank you, her legal, help her with more of it, which will be cheaper.
right, but also, I have a note, applicant should pay the bulk of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, that's why when we go talk about revenues, we'll be in there.
Yeah, I have BJ's comment, applicant fees supplemental, and a supplemental applicant fees.
To clerk, you have a note here, Jerry?
In which one?
Clerk line for planning.
Oh,
No,
planning.
planning.
What's the note?
The note says, are you going to 9,700
Yeah,
or 10,000?
9,700.
You do 97, Catherine goes to 55,200.
I got all that.
Done?
Everything's changed.
All right.
That's all. Okay,
Yeah.
great. WAC?
The OAC communications, education went from 500 to 1,000. Because we felt that they were going to, they need to educate the public more. The extra $500 come in handy there.
I have 4,000 because they're really starting to set up
Wait,
their
what are you looking at, Jim?
I'm looking at the,
Office and miscellaneous.
where it says
communications.
communications/education.
I don't have / education.
Oh, well, I threw that.
Oh, okay.
I threw that in there,
Okay.
I threw that in there because
Okay,
that's,
so I'm looking at the
that's what
same thing.
that's what I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
heard.
Like public education.
Right,
Yeah, public education, correct.
Yeah, they have a couple different things going on right now that they want to.
okay, so the department proposed 4,000. They suggested we keep it at what it was, 2,000. What do you guys want to do?
Split the difference.
I was just gonna say split the difference, because they've already spent about 2,000,
Mhm.
and they do have a few different things that they're gonna try to launch.
I'm comfortable
Office and miscellaneous should be 1,000.
with that. I think if water is a priority, we should support it.
Yeah.
Office and miscellaneous, they've already exceeded their
Right,
$100 budget, so.
1,000.
Yeah.
We put that to 1,000, correct?
And the USGS contract is actually 22,100, so.
Yep.
Add that.
And then the saltwater intrusion.
We took it out.
It's gonna carry over.
WQI?
Because it'll roll over
It'll roll.
last year.
Oh, it's going to roll over, okay.
Yeah, that contract hasn't been fully executed yet.
Right.
And, yeah, I'm up for taking the hydrologist out.
Right.
That was discussed yesterday at WAC. There was disappointment,
But those
Heartbreak.
let me say a little chagrin. But, that's that. You know, Joe for Nora, and I think we got agreement around the table, said it's not enough to say a hydrologist. If you have a specific
Right.
analysis that you think this town needs to do and hire a hydrologist to do, then that, you know, there's a little pushback.
Well, part of it was you need to define their job, define their role, what we need them to do, like demonstrate the need, define what we're lacking, what position they can fill.
Right.
It's not enough to say, hire this person and have them write their own job description. That doesn't fly. Like,
Right.
we need to be able to justify it. I need a list of reasons why we need a hydrologist and what they can provide to the town as a service, before, you know.
A little bit of pushback was, maybe we need a hydrologist to figure that out. And that was just, I think that between Joe,
I think Joe-
expertise on that committee.
And we do have consultants available.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, $45,000 isn't going to, or 40,000 isn't going to pay for a position.
Correct.
So it's,
yeah.
we're gonna be hiring an engine, you know, a hydrology consulting firm.
Right.
And that was the other comment, was that if it is a hire for a position, it shouldn't be in their line item budget. It should be in the town's budget. It shouldn't be in the WAC committee budget. You know, a new hire is under the purview of the town board, not the WAC.
The other thing we might look at too is if you have a specific thing that you're looking for a hydrologist for, there might be alternate funding for that purpose through grants and other alternate funding.
Yeah, that's what I said at the meeting
Yeah,
as well.
so,
Okay, so how about the the other two new items are the 5,000 for water testing and 5,000 to support this citizen science work.
I think those are both valid. I really do. The water testing, there was Menantic Peninsula there yesterday at the meeting, looking for sort of a area-wide salinity water testing, just to get a sense of the problem. I think they have a little bit further to go, but I think they'll get it, you know, we'll get that request by first quarter next year.
Mhm.
And then the citizen science thing is really, should be encouraged by this team.
Yeah, it's kind of new, so yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Well, and, you know, they did pay for all the mailings for the triangle.
Yeah.
And that came out of their office and miscellaneous, which is why that was so high. But if they're gonna do more informational mailings and they're gonna do more flyers.
And plus, like, we had that informal meeting with
Right.
Silver Beach,
Yep.
and they'll be coming next year about saltwater testing.
As well,
As
yeah.
well, so there's a couple things coming down the line that I think are good.
and I had something about WQI funds possibly to be looked at
Mhm.
for this
Yep.
area.
If we're putting in the support for citizen science work at 5,000, then I think we can keep office and miscellaneous at 500 then, since that's
Yeah.
where the water testing mailer went.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, that's different, no.
We can keep that office and miscellaneous at 500, because if we're gonna do water testing, we can put mailings and stuff in that water testing 5,000 line. Because if we do a large water testing initiative, we'll probably go to WQI, because it's gonna be more expensive than $5,000.
Right, okay.
So, I mean, that would help with the mailings, the getting information out, any reports afterwards, just kind of.
Okay, Shel, so we're gonna keep office miscellaneous at 500. Change communication to 3,000. And take out hydrologist. Okay?
Got it.
Comp plan, the only thing I have, well, not only thing, taking out the professional services.
Yep.
Because the consultants, contractors,
It's through the completion.
right, okay,
We haven't had a scope change.
right. Okay, ordinance enforcement, this is the new code enforcement officer we hired. Works under the purview of the town attorney. The big difference here in $6,900 for miscellaneous, basically to create a new department, and I put it at 1,500. I didn't think he needed badges and assorted paraphernalia.
Yeah, I think he also had some training in there, though.
You know, not in office and miscellaneous?
Yeah, I mean, we should make it a section.
He said something about education. I had IT systems update. Money's dedicated to the building department and the code enforcement. With
Yeah, it was more the IT update. He was looking to see if they can tie into what the building department's already using and add to it, or if they need to go with something else. But he was thinking that if they can just add to what the building department's already doing, that it would cost a couple grand, but it shouldn't,
Okay,
you know, if that was the rationale for that
okay. Again, I wasn't at this meeting.
meeting.
I mean, we hear weekly that, we don't enforce enforce codes, so I think, something, anything that's gonna help, we should.
What's in contracts? Is that the short-term rental that we let go?
No,
No? Can you, yeah.
Short-term rentals, we were spending $12,000.
Oh, well, a big part of that was Cozy Lane.
Oh, a lot of
That makes sense.
mailing and a little bit of private eyeing. and-
Right, yeah, correct. The personal servers that we had to hire twice to hand deliver.
So maybe keep that line item in case that happens again?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes, yeah, I would think so.
okay.
so did you wanna up office and miscellaneous?
I personally would because of just what you just said. There's two areas you can get whacked with, not supporting water initiatives and not enforcing, and not supporting enforcement. And we get hit with constant. So to me, I think you have to support enforcement, big,
Say $2,000 or 2,500.
I would either go 2,500 to 3, but
3.
you proposed almost
Three?
7.
I'd say 3.
All right, 3.
I would go with 3.
Okay, CAC,
No change.
no change. Benefits are what they are.
Well, that health insurance, that's the impact. Do we have an impact? If we change the way the employees are billed? It can't be that little. Or maybe it is, I don't know.
Go through and review all of that. So Shelby and I can, like after today, I want to just like sit with Shelby for a few hours this afternoon. Just go through, double checking all the numbers.
Okay, so a question mark there.
Pilot payment,
That needs to go to 2597. We do have an exact amount.
2597.
Because it's only 2%, so if you take the 2546 times 2%.
the building department revenue. We just went with everything that, proposed.
Yeah, I think short-term rental license can go up to 4,200.
Yeah, I mean, about 4,000 through the first 8 months, so I'm not that you get a lot in the last 4 months, but you're gonna get something, so I think Amber's right. Would you say 45?
4,200.
42, okay.
Well, in irrigation permits, they were at 27,000, so we can probably bring that up to 27.
Question is, what's the town gonna do with the irrigation?
Yeah, that's,
I think I'd,
Yeah, but either way, you still need a permit.
maybe 25.
Because even if we do change the code, you have to give them time to make the transition. So like, you give them what, 1 year, 2 years to transition to a cistern system? So this year you can still, I think,
I would say you're probably right, you have to give that grace period of 12 months.
I would say 25.
Yeah, I would say 25 as well.
Let's be a little,
I would go back up to short-term
Conservative.
rentals and suggest that, I don't know what is the duty of this board or the next board, but I think the fees on short-term rentals is
way too low.
because it's way too low, that thing that you're going from 3,500 to 4,200, that should probably be about $10,000, revenue-wise, to at least,
right,
if not more.
Prices are,
It's a joke.
okay.
home improvement contractor licenses, they're 20,000 off the mark now, and we're doing the same for next year. Was this year?
A lot of them are November renewals.
Oh, okay, all right, good,
Through September, it was 85.5.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them come in at the end of the year.
All right, so we're gonna do short-term rental to 4,200, and then irrigation permits to 25,000? Okay.
And unclassified revenue, COs, that needs to go up.
Yeah, because I say, why did that get taken down to 5?
I mean, maybe building has slowed, but
Make a note for that for.
May I make a note,
great.
because we've already exceeded that by $2,500 or more.
I don't know, I think they're still doing a lot of work. I would take it to 65.
Again, I don't want to kill the dead horse here, but going back to the short-term rental, because it is potentially a lot more money. Does anybody feel comfortable that we get this done prior to the?
I made a note, Joe. I think we should put on for a work session and change the fee before.
I do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's
I
easy.
mean, it's
Keep
got
it
to,
at 10, you think?
our philosophy has always been trying to
Keep it at 10.
use a fees. It should pay for the program. And one of the biggest gripes of the community is
Right.
that you do not enforce the rental code. So
Right.
now you have a guy that's well-versed in it, that's earning quite a bit of money, and we're increasing his number of hours for that very reason. So obviously you should have to cover that. To think that $125
Right.
every 2 years or whatever we're charging, you know, which is minuscule, it's not even it's not even in the ballpark.
All right. So you want to go up to 10?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it's gonna be more than that, but I
Yeah,
feel comfortable
yeah.
going to 10.
Okay.
You know,
Yep.
to really be honest with you, because,
What is that for short-term rental?
yeah,
Taking that
yeah,
to 10?
yeah. Because again, you will get a little bit of pushback from the people that rent saying, you know what? But you know, come on, you have to be reasonable
Yeah.
here. You've got to get a greater appreciation from the rest of the public that says, it's about time. If I know you're increasing those fees for that reason, and it's a good reason in order to, it's not to do away with short-term rentals, it's to enforce the existing code. It takes time and effort to do that, especially when we're spending time now going in there and inspecting the properties to make sure that they're in fact safe. You know, that takes time and effort to do all those.
Just a quick aside, I talked with somebody who has a business in Sag Harbor, and they said, someone was in the past weekend saying, oh, yeah, we're staying on Shelter Island, we rented a place. They said, oh, where is it? They go, "Well, we're not allowed to say."
That tells you
Tells you a lot, yeah.
tells you everything.
Okay.
And the unclassified revenue, COs and CCs.
Yeah, we have a, BJ made a note to ask Reed,
We should
Keep it at 10?
Keep it at 10, because we're at 75, 75.
as long as there's not a real, let's just make sure there's,
Yeah.
what his reasoning was. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna put that up to 10, but ask Reed, why. Okay. Okay, zoning board review. Okay. Planning board review. Oh, these are revenues, I'm sorry.
On Tuesday, did you guys get anywhere? I haven't had a chance to review the meeting yet on reviewing the planning board and zoning board fees.
Yeah, the fees we did, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly insignificant, it's not gonna really do a lot, but it's, you know. We didn't project,
Yeah, so I
Jill,
was
did
gonna
we?
say maybe we can.
We didn't do it, let's do, okay, so let's do a projection.
I would almost say keep them where they're at now, because as it is, like,
Not getting it.
we're not hitting the 10,000. I mean, I think if we up the fees, maybe we'll get close to hitting the
Yeah,
10,000 for zoning. And planning board, I think with the wetlands, will probably exceed 6, but
Yeah, that's a
No.
good point. Let's leave it.
well, let's leave it.
Not the wetland fees.
Yeah, they're in it.
themselves.
Yes,
Oh, they go.
they're in the A fund, which we need to confirm that answer.
Okay, so let's leave those.
Need about 10 minutes of the board's time at the end of the budget meeting, whenever we finish today, to discuss personnel review between the planning board and CAC, so.
Okay, okay, electric car rebate, special exemption application fee. That's it on B. Go to DA. The only thing I highlighted on this was, very last line in mechanics, refurbish equipment. Sheldon, what's the history on that? Do we use that? Is that one of the ones Brian transfers or actually use it?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look. I feel like it's one that
For the
you'll
truck,
just,
it's, I have a
carry.
note for truck. Yeah, he transferred this money in towards, to purchasing a truck, I think. It's $10,000 plus some monies from other.
Well, I think what we have to, I mean, Brian's very good with, squirreling away money that he doesn't feel he needs to spend, and then if he has enough, he can buy a piece of equipment, but I think the reality is he should be budgeting for that equipment and not budgeting for something he's not gonna use somewhere else.
That would be more responsible, I think,
mean, the
and
only
more
one-
accurate.
Yeah, the only one that he, like, the big money is snow and sand. Because that one, he needs to budget for snow and sand.
You have to, we
And
did
then
we did a spreadsheet over the last 10 years, we've used, well, snow, even
Years,
though
yeah.
it wasn't snow, we used that money
Yeah,
for winters.
and I think
Yeah.
El Nino, whatever, is, I
Right,
think the expectation is for a snowy year.
Yeah,
so you wanna knock that down to 5?
Yes.
Refurbish?
Yeah.
Okay.
And machine repair, I had a note that we were adding 5 from the A fund. We took it from, what was it, for the public works lines.
for the CDL training.
Gonna start, we're seeing it already, the grinder's starting to
I was
need
just-
more maintenance.
I was just gonna go with that,
It is, it's the most used piece of equipment we have, probably, the most heavily used.
Shelby's mower repairs.
That's why I looked at that refurbished equipment, saying that, is he thinking about the aging of the grinder,
Yes, and that went into the machine repair.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
That's a problem.
we had a separate line just for like grinder maintenance and
Oh, yeah,
parts.
yeah, right.
Yeah, we
And
did
then
up
have
it.
aging next to it,
Yeah, we did up it.
Yeah, because obviously you're on
Yeah.
pace to do about 15,000
Right.
this year. So adding 3,000 next year and 18,000, I
Yeah.
think is reasonable. I think you have to stay with that. And that may be a shocking number to public out there at $18,000 to refurbish one piece of equipment like the grinder. But the grinder is $710,000 piece of equipment.
and the parts aren't cheap.
And the
And to
parts
replace it
aren't-
today is $1 million plus.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and we got that on a 50/50 grant,
Right.
the New York State DEC. So we ended up getting back 355,000 of the
Right.
710.
Anybody else have anything in mechanics?
Shelby and I were having a side conversation about the machine repair.
Yes.
So on page 43, DA 5130.446.
Yep.
Taking that from 125 to 130
I
because,
said add 5,000, I have that
Yes.
from a,
yes, so I just want to make sure.
From
it's
other
captured.
lines,
So it
yeah.
should be 130.
Yeah.
Because we're moving the mower repair there. It doesn't belong in the A fund.
So we're just moving it?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I wrote that in the margin there. No, actually, no increase, it's just a
Mhm.
moving it from another line.
Hey, brushing weeds? Don't have any notes. See
I
if-
had a note with double overtime, should go to 3,000.
Yeah, but the department proposed was 3,000.
And I have Juneteenth next to that for some, if they're working Juneteenth,
Yeah.
was that an issue last year?
That was why it was 4,400. That's why the
Correct.
yeah. Yeah, but we've sorted that out.
But he proposed 2,000.
He proposed 3,000, is what
Yeah,
he said.
he said he meant to put 3,000.
That's, that.
If it wasn't a typo, if it wasn't a typo, I don't know.
No. No, that's
His
what,
intentions were.
that's what his intentions were. I wrote the same thing.
All right.
But given that the bulk of it was 17th, which is the rest of the contract, then.
Okay,
So you want to leave it or split the difference,
I would
or?
leave it at 2,000.
okay, so, all right, being addressed, okay, all right.
Anything else in Russian weeds?
That was all.
The other thing was the outside contractors, tree work that's being done.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't spent any money in the first 8 months, so his balance is still $5,000, but he planned on doing some tree work in the fall here with outside contractors. So I think you gotta,
I thought we signed some check show
Yeah, they made.
for Dan Clark.
oh, maybe it hasn't come in yet. Maybe that's, but he specifically said, I remember he has some other tree work that he wants done.
Okay.
So he.
Maybe that was
Yeah, I think
CPF.
That's.
No.
Might have been CPF money.
Yeah,
It
that's,
has a tree line in
Mhm.
like Public Works or
Okay.
something.
yeah. I remember something about the, anything in or around wires.
Yeah.
You know, that
Yeah, that's-
he needed a specialist
Right.
in there, there's somebody that knew what they were, not that his guys don't, but
No, yeah.
putting those guys at risk when
Yeah.
they're not adept at.
Okay, snow, we're gonna leave the way it is?
Well, did your review show that was a good number?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, I have it, I'll share it with you. Okay, benefits, Image or anything?
Just
Notes?
double checking and everything once we get all of the salaries in place.
Capital equipment?
Stay the same.
Okay. Okay, revenues, he wanted to increase the equipment rental from 100 to 110. Just put a star next, asterisk next to it, I kept it at 100.
I circled it, put a check mark next to it, but.
Yeah, we start right in our, like, capital plan, this is the one that,
I mean, unless we raise the 10,000 somewhere else, we can't raise it here.
we do. This number actually goes from here to the A fund reports, is it showing?
No, it's in landfill, TSI, equipment rental. Page 21. It's A 8160.430.
Oh, yeah. We usually have the same place, but that's where it fused.
Okay, so we can increase that revenue to 110.
Then we should also increase.
I thought you just said you did.
No,
Wait, what was the number in page 21?
8160.430. Is what we're
Oh,
doing
okay,
is,
but he had the same thing, he proposed,
Yeah, 110.
yeah,
So, okay.
put into the capital equipment reserve fund, we put in
yeah, I understand,
110,000,
yeah.
and then we end up using it to fund.
And he has, I
So
would,
either way, it's a wash, whether we leave it where it is.
Either way, it's a wash, right?
Yeah.
You want to add them 10 to both, or you want to
Yeah,
leave
because
it at
there's
100?
the schedule that we have, that Shelby keeps up.
Okay.
Jay had created it years ago.
All right, so go back to page 21 and add
110.
8160.430, make it 110.
And this was the 3 new wells for DEC.
No.
It's in that line, right?
No.
No, that's
Capital-
the next line
Capital
down.
Oh,
Equipment
okay.
Reserve Fund.
All right.
Yeah, that's the next line down.
Then if you go to page 46, DA 2414, this is revenue, change that to 110 also.
Here's the wash.
Yeah. Okay, go to page 48, DB roads.
On that note, boy, it's nice to see West Neck paved like that. Beautiful job that they did on that. What a difference. You haven't seen it?
Over that way.
It's nice.
It's really nice. Nice job, relined it. Oh, good, it looks good, really looks good.
Okay. The notes I have here are, question mark next to fuel. Ryan proposed 82, I proposed 80. Jim, I don't know what the projection is based on what was spent.
Which one are you looking at?
Fuel.
Fuel
Okay. Through, that'd be 17, that's 51, 52 is the projection.
That's too low. It's too volatile.
Through end of September, it was 47,
Wow, what a big jump,
746.
there's $13,000 increase in 1 month.
Right.
So what?
Probably had to pay it, yeah.
47 for.
47, 746.
Yeah, so that's another 12,000 on the 47, that goes to 60 something. So if it jumps like that, continually jumps like that, I don't know, it's,
Let's see what the,
fuel is something hard to,
Yeah.
to say, hard to gauge.
So, yeah, Brian has 82, I have 80, what do you want to
I'm
do?
comfortable with the 80.
I'm comfortable with the 80, yes, I am comfortable with that.
Okay, then the next question I had was the MS4 and MS4 maintenance, both of them, I just have a question mark with Joe. You know,
Did nothing, they haven't used any.
Yeah.
He just hasn't gotten a chance to put in the dry wells yet.
Right.
He's got them, yeah, he just keeps having to reschedule
Okay.
it. So it's intended to happen.
okay,
So, but what about,
That's adding up here, folks,
yeah.
between next door, across the street, and driveway, there's a lot of stuff that's,
Well, we have to discuss that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, get some things done. So,
what about highway improvements? That line is funny to me. We started last year with 132, we modified the budget to 195 and haven't used it.
but now's when they start doing it all, when
Okay.
Jeannie comes down this time of year.
All right,
yeah,
paving.
that's paving.
so we modified it knowing that,
We rolled over money from last year.
okay,
You know, unexpended
right.
contracts we had.
You're
Right.
you're at his mercy, really.
Yeah.
Him and the weather, yeah.
And
Okay.
Long Island City concrete trucks at 6 AM. Dozens and
Nonstop,
dozens and
yeah.
dozens and dozens. You never saw so many concrete trucks in all your life.
Well,
Lined up on the side of the road with police and, I mean, as far as the eye can see.
well,
okay.
Okay, anything else on this? Okay, next, anything on benefits, DB? Okay, revenue?
the last four revenue are all from the state contract.
Right.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what the block grant is? Like, why is that?
So that was put in there because when the youth center,
Okay.
or the
Facade, like,
the work at the youth center, it came out of the DB fund, so when we got the money back in, we just put it back into DB.
makes sense.
Like, it should just be 1674. It's a small thing, but it's just nice
Yeah.
to know, like, when we get
To have it right.
Yeah, when we get their check, to be able to match it and say, hey.
Hopefully, when that new community block grant comes in, you're gonna see a big jump in that.
Yes,
You know,
Yeah.
to support the ADA efforts,
Yep.
the design work, you know, for Justice Hall.
yeah,
But that won't be in the DB, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
that'll-
over in the A fund.
Right, okay, okay.
Fuel depot external revenue. What's that?
that's
That's when
Is that-
other, like,
agencies, is it the fire district and,
they fuel up at the
Yeah, I
highway
didn't think
department, and then
about
they reimburse us.
So I do see fire trucks at the.
Cozies?
Cozies, so I don't know.
ambulance
Maybe
maybe,
it's ambulance.
No, we also, there are
Fire
some
trucks,
trucks,
yeah.
yeah, there's bills that I pay for that. We can't There's some trucks that can't use what's at the highway because it has the red dye in it and Pacuzzi's doesn't, I think it is.
Yeah,
So, yeah. That makes
Hey,
sense.
you wanna,
No, I want my notes.
all right,
I want to get something on the capital reserve.
Okay, so that's, we're good there? Mhm.
they start the carport at all at senior center? No, not yet. EMS garage, they've started work there, huh? Yeah,
Yes.
so we're starting to see some progress there. Center firehouse, I see that. I mean, the Heights work about 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
Trying to go get notes on capital.
Yeah, nothing, yeah, he's got, I know, he wanted to seek.
While he's doing that, it's capital planning, but I don't, here we go. Never mind, it's just on order, spreadsheet too. I don't think we had anything else on revenues. I just had check marks next to chips entitlement, paid New York, extreme winter recovery, and paper potholes all being the same.
Right.
So then the next page would be page 52, the capital improvements.
Prices are all laid out like this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, what I gave you was, what I'm looking at is potential reductions. And because we're up to the capital improvement plan, so we'd start with that. These are funds, the ARPA funds are from COVID that the town received. So 263 or 267?
I think 63.
It was 263,000 that we received for COVID. Other towns got millions, but this is what we got. And it tells you how you can use it. Originally, it's for COVID, any COVID-related expenses, which we really didn't have too much that we handled ourselves. Then they give you other things that you can use it for. Amber and I had discussed when we first got it, maybe to put it aside and keep it for a major infrastructure project. A lot of it has to do with, water and sewage, and we thought that would be a good thing, but the reality is, with the current climate, that might not happen, and we have to commit this money before the end of December 2024. So we thought it best to, use this money as we see fit. The guidelines changed a little, and anything that's eligible for community development block grant money can also be eligible for these funds. So there's quite a few things. So if we want to go down the list, let's base it on Amber's capital improvement plan. We have budgeted 25,000 for ADA compliance. That's eligible. We have 30,000 for the power stretcher lift. That's eligible. we have radio upgrades. This is the EMS. That's eligible. Now, and then we have the police upgrades. Let's do the whole thing, then I'll talk about it. So we have we have the upgrades, 10, says 10 per year, $5,000, that's eligible. We have the upgrade, 800 countywide radio system, 40,000. That's eligible.
What was the 10,000? Oh,
That's the EMS.
oh,
For 2 years.
oh, okay, because I see 5. All right.
You put in.
Well, I'm gonna go over that. Yeah, I just want to go what's eligible. Then the facility master plan is eligible. And I'm not sure, I think the air burner is, that's the only one I'm kind of questionable on.
That would be so
I'm
great.
not really sure about the guidelines for the air burner. So that's a question, but we'll look into that one. And then the tasers are eligible. The chief has those in his budget. He was gonna budget every year for 5 years. So I didn't want to put all 50,000 in, so I just thought we could take 10,000 out of the budget for this year and use that.
So we don't have a line here for tasers?
Well, we do in police, it's in police equipment.
Oh, it's in police
Regular
equipment,
budget.
okay.
Yeah. So if you go up on my sheet to police radio upgrades, this year, and also EMS radio upgrades, this year we budgeted 40,000 for police and 5,000 for EMS.
Right.
If we're eligible for the ARPA money, Amber, I don't know how exactly we do it. I'd like to use the ARPA money and then this money that we budgeted, put in back into fund balance so we can offset next year's budget. Okay?
Yeah,
So in other words, that's why I put 2023 and 2024.
it's actually 2024 and 2025.
The 40 we put in,
Oh,
no,
you mean,
for
oh, you're
this
talking
year.
about in,
We budgeted this year 40,000 for the police radios. Jimmy said he ordered them, they're ready,
I would.
he's waiting for the bill.
Yes, I'd rather we use it for 2024 and 2025. Because then, we've already budgeted this year, and so.
I know, I understand that, but I'm trying to look at ways to offset the taxes. And
Right,
if,
no, but
what
it
I'm
still
saying
does the
is,
same thing.
you sure?
Yeah, because what's going to happen is in 2025, we're going to be hurt by the fact that we've taken this 45,000 out of appropriations. So that's going to be a $45,000 automatic increase in 2025. So if we're going to use the ARPA money for this year to save on the budget, let's do it also with the 2025 component. We've already budgeted this year,
Right,
so let's just leave that alone. And that way, it's a non-recurring expense that we're covering in the 2024 budget, and we're also covering it in the 2025, so it
But-
doesn't become a non.
selfishly, I'm not worried about the 2025.
No, but listen to this. You said,
Speak for yourself, Jerry. But we already had the money in 2023 to cover it, so. Right.
no, but wait a minute, what's December 24? Is you have to spend it by then?
Have to have it committed.
Committed by then, so that's the
Yes,
other thing,
let's-
so never mind 2020, let's just say 2024, all of it. It's, right?
Right, yeah.
'Cause it's not
You're doing
recurring.
the same thing.
Yeah.
2024 and the 2025.
Yeah.
Purchase.
Why spread it out over 2 years? Why not just do it all in
Oh, yeah, no,
2024?
that's, yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we up that budget to 80,000 and 10,000.
Right.
And then we take it off of the capital plan for 2025.
Oh, I see what you're
Yes.
saying.
Yes,
All right,
yes,
okay.
yes.
That makes more
Yeah,
sense.
Yeah, so if you're
Okay.
looking at my spreadsheet.
Yeah, I got you.
The projected.
Yeah, okay.
5 number.
I got you.
on.
Okay,
And also, it's less of a hit
okay,
going forward, because my concern, anytime we take money out of fund balance to cover something,
right.
then we're hurting ourselves, like we're
Right.
starting in the hole the
Mhm.
next year. And I
Okay.
know you don't care,
Okay.
but Meg and I care. And we should.
Well, I care, I'm
we
gonna
all
be
care for
paying,
the
but.
taxpayers.
And what you told me about Southold, remember?
Yeah.
Just-
Well, I know you'll appreciate this. I always read, these other towns, no increase, no increase. How the hell can they do it? It's impossible. But if the appropriations are all increasing, it's because they're all using,
Fund balance.
their fund balances to offset the taxes. That's where there's no increase.
And Southwell's fund balance is pretty hardy.
Yeah,
It was, and they exhausted it, they used a lot of it to
Yeah.
get to that level.
Yeah.
He's on his way out,
Yeah, party gift.
so.
Okay, so Amber, just the one air burner, we have to see, it's 10,000, just to
Okay.
see if that's eligible. And I don't know if anybody even know, we say ever, and people, most people don't even know what that is. Basically what that is, it's, lack of a better word, it's an incinerator to use at the landfill to get rid of the debris. We're hoping to get a grant for it. We hope to be a pilot program for it with the state that will reduce all the grinding and all the work we do up there tremendously. Obviously it's EPA approved, and it would be a huge addition for us. And then the ash product is saleable. It's a good byproduct.
This 10,000 for the air gunner is just.
For the application.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's just the application
Yeah.
and design.
Yeah, right,
Planning,
right.
things, so.
Mhm.
You have on your kitchen and cast.
I'll get to that.
Okay,
I
but
get
going
that.
back to the tasers for a minute, I do see Chief Reed is on here. My question is the tasers, is that an annual recurring expense?
It is, I'll let the chief talk to it. Yeah.
Yes, Amber, it is. It would be $10,000 a year for the next 5 years.
So the chief's concern is, and it's the same as your concern, is that if we take it off this year, it's going to be plus 10,000 next year.
Yeah.
It's not there.
I kind of want to scratch it from this then.
Right.
Amber, I had that in contracts, in my
Thank you.
budget line under contracts.
Why is it over 5 years, Jim? Is that just like a planned replacement so they don't get too old and become funky?
Yeah, so they basically warranty them for 5 years, so you can
Okay.
pay the 50,000 upfront, or they let you spread it over 5 years, so that's why I put it under contracts for the next 5 years. Then after 5 years, they basically force you to buy new ones,
Right.
and so yes.
So there's no way to compress that timeline and do just most of the buying in 2024?
Oh, we could buy.
We could buy them all at once. He's
Yeah.
just trying to be,
But doesn't that hurt down the line?
I was going to say, yeah, wouldn't that, then we're rolling, like,
It's
then we need to replace them all at the same time.
Sure,
rather
5 years
than-
later.
Right.
Yeah.
But then 5 years later, you could spread it out too. You could, in 5 years, then spread it out over the next 5 years, 10,000, 10,000, or it'd be more than that
well, it's
probably.
kind of like
Well,
the
no,
way we
'cause you
buy
got
the
age of
cars, we roll
equipment.
them over
Yeah.
as they age.
Yeah, you got
as
age of
opposed to-
equipment.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That
Might
is
have
true.
failure.
That is true. That is true.
BJ, originally I
taser.
had 50,000 in one lump sum as capital plan. But
Yeah.
if it's going to be a recurring cost for us, which it apparently will be. It makes sense to just have it in contracts, $10,000 a year. There's no hiccups in my budget. It's a kind of a flat line over the years.
Yeah.
Makes sense. They take it out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take it off of ARPA. Keep it in capital.
Yeah.
Right.
You're taking
It's
off
not, yeah, it's not even in capital.
the police radios?
Yeah.
It's regular.
No,
It's
no,
just-
tasers.
Tasers, excuse me.
Yeah.
So Amber, just so I'm clear, I'm going to expend 80,000 in that radio upgrade in 2024 as opposed to 40,000,
Yes, if we adopt this.
if that budget gets adopted that way.
Okay. That changes, that becomes 215. Yeah. Okay, then if we get down to the bottom, these are things we talked about actually taking out of the budget. $20,000 deer.
Stop just a minute though, because this is the place where I should ask, is that enough for a facilities master
I was
plan?
actually gonna ask the same question.
And if we still have 50,000 in ARPA,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when I was initially doing my research, and this was like, just as COVID was hitting, and then
yeah,
COVID took over the brain, I was thinking we'd need more close to 125,000.
right.
And that was 2 years,
Years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
That was my estimate too.
So,
And do what we need to do, because, I mean,
You can see the cost of just working on a building on an ADA, what it costs you to upgrade of one building. No less,
it's gonna take into account looking at what's needed for septic, it's gonna take into,
Yes.
you know,
It's pretty extensive.
so if that becomes 108,000, then we are at 263, if that really is the ARPA number.
I have the ARPA number.
What is it?
245, 766.
Really?
Sorry.
55, 70.
45, 766.
So,
I like Southwood's number, 1 million better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
so 245.
so we're adding another 30,766. right?
To what?
Master plan.
30,000.
Well, if we're doing that, let's take the 10 and the air burner and the, tasers out.
Tasers out.
Okay.
Oh, we can use all the ARPA.
And what, well, no, wait,
The
wait,
air burner were
wait.
questionable.
I have other suggestions for something.
Okay, wait a minute,
So how much are we making facilities master plan?
at least
If
90.
we're taking air burner off, then we're up to 100,766.
Oh, that's if we use everything.
Yeah,
No, don't use everything. Let's wait. Let's
Every time someone is
let's leave that, let's leave that blank.
Okay, so
Okay.
finish your.
So let's finish the budget itself first, and we'll go back to over. So if we go down to each of the things we talked about taking out of the budget,
Mhm.
$20,000, year reduction management.
Mhm.
We all agreed on that?
yeah, we wanted more specificity.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we already did that.
IT maintenance was the software for the town clerk's office. We said we're not ready for that.
Right, she said,
She already has the money.
Not for the,
Oh, not for that.
Right.
For the other thing she's doing.
okay, saltwater monitoring, we have that money already. Hydrologist, we said today, we're gonna eliminate in the comprehensive plan consultants, the contract, the contract. So that's 155,000 in deductions. Okay,
Hold on just a second, I'm just looking at the deer reduction management.
That was for habitat.
That was for
maintenance.
habitat.
No, I'm going back, so department proposed 36 plus 20.
Oh, yeah, there's more cuts we made in that.
And then I thought when we talked about, on page 12, and it's line A3510, 495, or 498. Because I'm just not seeing the $20,000 reduction from what you had originally proposed.
oh, you had 0 in there.
well, I had proposed 60,000 gross, and I didn't break it down into the two categories.
Okay,
And
And I-
then we said
56,
56,000,
so that's only 4,000.
but then I have minus 20,000 because I thought we were taking out the habitat management.
And then I actually.
Then we were putting money up into Jen's salary.
Oh, right, we did.
We-
Jens.
We did, yes.
I have an overall reduction for that section of 20,780.
I had,
Yeah, that's what I have.
yeah,
So for that line, for the A3510.498, I have 36,000 in there.
Hold on a second, let me go back to that page.
And then I had Jen's salary going to 30,
mhm. And minus 20.
and then minus the 20.
Right.
Correct.
So, but that's not versus minus 20 is not,
Yeah, minus 20 doesn't seem like it's.
it's not versus Jerry's. So
Yeah,
it's
because I thought it
really,
was, yeah, I thought we were
Right.
comparing this to your budget.
right,
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
so
So,
it's minus 24.
oh, so we took your reduction management down to 36,000?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, I didn't write it in my notes, I put it in the spreadsheet. Okay, sorry.
okay.
So 20,070, okay, proceed, sorry.
okay. Okay, so that's a total of 155,000 in reductions there. So now, before we go back up to the ARPA funds, what we're gonna, on the right, you see there the Legion Kitchen and Cast. A lot of the other towns, what they did was they gave money to the fire departments, to cast like groups, housing things. I thought one thing I'd like the town board, the next town board to pursue is the lease with the Presbyterian Church is up after 2024. Currently, 24,000 a year with the CPI. Rent plus 8,000 plus a year for the maintenance of the water system. That is strictly there because we use it for the program. So rather than pay, 32,000 a year for a facility we don't own, I was thinking maybe we can look at the Legion Hall, which we do own, and work with the Legion on the kitchen there to fix the kitchen up so we can cook the meals, have the communal meals upstairs. Hopefully within the next few weeks, we'll have the handicap ramp finished for that. So I was proposing to take $20,000 of the ARPA money for the kitchen renovation And I'd like to make some kind of, and we talked about this at one point, making a donation to CAST, not a donation, contributing. Because I think the numbers of CAST serves 60 residents
60.
every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
on the island. So there's definitely a need there. So does it help the budget? No, but I think it's the right thing to do. The Legion thing gets a little more convoluted. I spoke to the commander and Dave Clark the other day, and we said we'd look at the equipment and see what's needed and what's realistic.
Dave Clark's no longer the commander.
No, I said and Dave Clark.
And Dave Clark.
You weren't listening.
All right.
So, the kitchen facility would be downstairs. It could be used both for, the congregate meals and for the Legion to do something sort of like Code Hill does over there. But it's the basement. So I was talking with Hoot Sherman the other day. He said, why don't you consider, and this is something you've talked about, is putting an addition on the back of the Legion, and with that, that little cutout where the bar is upstairs, make a real kitchen there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a long-term project. And he said the way you finance it is the 30-something thousand that you pay in the church every year, you bond it and pay it off.
Yeah, 5 years.
So, but it's certainly not something we're going to accomplish in 2 months, but it's just something to think about,
Yeah, part of the facilities master plan.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I put those 2 items over there. I mean, I feel very strongly that the town should make some kind of contribution to CAST.
Yeah.
Getting back to the Presbyterian Church, they have to, like we are paying for the $8,000 a year for the maintenance of the water system. If we remove the nutrition program from there, will they still be subject to the same regulations?
I don't think so.
Well, they have the monthly guest chef things starting in October, I think, of every year, and goes until April or May. Yeah,
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the first one, yeah.
yeah. So,
It's so few and far between. It's so few and far between that. I mean, we can look into it.
Yeah. so then,
Yeah, I'm just thinking in terms of fairness, because this was imposed upon them. We paid for it, but now we're pushing back 8,000 to the Presbyterian Church.
yeah, well, maybe
I
they,
don't know if they'd have a need for it, quite honestly.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I don't
yeah.
know they'll be considered,
but maybe also, if that's an expense and a nominal rent. Like, in other words, will you want to keep the town revenues? Then maybe they need to be adjusted. So that's a fixed expenses, the water system, so it would benefit us if it was repaid for the water system and the rent was just nominal. That would maybe keep us there.
they're looking for the rent's more important than the, dynamic.
But what if you pack up your whole,
Yeah.
all of your toys and
Well,
go?
when I think we're not looking, I understand, and that's a good, bargaining chip, but I think we're looking long-term. I
Yeah,
mean, we have a facility, we should,
yeah,
try to take advantage of it.
yeah. That's true. But I'm not sure, what you're proposing here is to reno a kitchen that's
Well,
downstairs.
it's just something to talk, it's something to think about,
Yeah, well, I mean, but we should,
yeah.
right? I
And
mean,
the next town board can, that money, we don't have to, you can commit that next year. You have 2024 to decide what to do with it.
Right.
In other words, I would rather not spend it all offsetting the budget. I would like to have
we're
something.
not offsetting the budget, we're doing capital. It's different.
No, it's offsetting the budget. We're using this money, well, other than what we're gonna put in extra, this is all money that would be
Right.
budgeted for.
But I'd like,
So if we could use it to offset the budget,
well,
it makes sense.
yeah, but the kitchen, I think, is too far down the road.
That's what I'm saying.
That one I wouldn't do. I would do cast, probably for 15, and I would dump the rest of it, into facilities master plan, because that needs to be done, and we don't want to shortchange it, and we've been talking about it for a long time. That's what I would argue, but 15 on cast. And then, yeah, we have committed all the ARPA funds.
I do believe that supporting 60 residents on Shelter Island for meals is important. It's a responsibility. I would I would favor that 15. Legion Kitchen is something, again, it's gonna be down the road a little bit, but I go either way with that.
I like
I
the
do think the
idea
facility
of,
master plan is important, needs to be done. And I don't, the 60,000 is not gonna get it done, that's for sure.
And with the Legion, for me, it's like, oh gosh, if you could just do an L off that back. So it's not only the kitchen, it's like, it's a dining room. You know, that doesn't have to be, you know, switching out mats and toy, you know, I mean, so that's a real big deal. But that's facilities master plan.
That's why we need a facilities master plan.
And I think it's,
I think that's where we should go with the money
I
initially.
think at this point, before we make any of those huge decisions, any infrastructure decisions,
Yeah.
we need to have facilities.
I agree
master
with
plan
that,
in place.
I agree with that.
what does that number become if we do?
So-
The CAS thing, can I just,
Yeah,
it's a one-time donation. Isn't really doing anything, and we have other organizations out there supporting CAS.
Lions.
Yeah.
We give $15,000 to the Historical Society. I think we could justify giving it to CAST.
Well, there's another thing too.
The Historical Society is a different thing, because,
We get a service. Well, we get a
and
service.
actually, I don't know if you were here,
We get a service. They're feeding 60 people
Right, I was.
twice a month.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, as I came out of town, yeah. You get a service. Yeah.
but when you're dealing with a not-for-profit like that, it is good to have like recurring, like they know that they can
know.
count on the 15,000
Or to tell them
every
it's
year.
not, you know.
Yeah. Like if there's just, is it a one-time need that we're helping fulfill, you know, or we're helping just a 1 year, you know?
One thing about dumping all of that money into facilities master plan is you could include CAST in it. You know, perhaps that kitchen could be, could be used and served, and there's a method to the madness of using the master plan to develop a better situation for CAST here to service the people that need it.
Well, there's another thing too about CAST, and I just had heard through the grapevine that our local pantry, you know, that carries staples, sort of could use a little support too, just a little bit. So it wasn't formal or anything like that. So I was just thinking CAST and a little bit something to the food pantry that is, really, I mean, Cass is here twice a month, that's great, but, you know, there comes a Thursday and you've got nothing. You know, it's nice to run over there and get a can of, you know, meals
No,
or whatever. So that would help too, but again, it's to Amber's same questioning, which is it's a one-time shot to a need that's constant.
yeah.
And Jerry, I don't know if you were here after Amber and I had met with the woman from the New York State Archives.
No.
She came down and helped us look, you know, we went and visit, you know, we went to
Yeah.
every place where we've got storage and talked about maintaining records. And there is a partnership with the Historical Society that can be very beneficial. We've got some very old records that Amber's come across, and we're not, anything that's before, I think it's like 1910, we should not destroy. We don't have them kept in an environment where they won't get destroyed over time.
No.
So we need to go through, catalog them, and then work with the Historical Society. We still have to maintain ownership of those records, so we need to come up with a formal agreement with the Historical Society, but they could house those documents for us in a, you know, hermetically sealed environment where they won't get destroyed over time. So it was perfect timing. We had the presentation from the Historical Society, and then Amber and I met with the archives woman and actually went over that same afternoon and met with somebody at the Historical Society to see what, you know, the facility looked like. And so there is a way that we need to partner with the Historical Society and use them in a more proactive fashion than we have been in the
Yeah.
past.
I think a lot of the blame, I don't want to say blame, but responsibility comes back on us asking them. We were waiting for them to come service us. We needed to make some demands on them to say, here's what our needs are, you know, and I think we can do a much, much, much better job in terms of getting records, kept for hopefully decades and centuries to come, you know, that are invaluable stuff that are not being adequately stored here. So let's just get back to this. What are we doing here, folks, with this 38,000?
All right, so we don't really need to discuss that right now.
Okay.
Let's finish the budget. So if we go with, and we don't need to add I mean, we can add the extra money from the ARPA, but to address the budget, which is what this meeting is about, if we take out the air burner and the tasers,
Yep.
and we take out the things we're talking about removing, we're taking out $360,000 from the appropriations,
Right.
okay? Which comes to roughly 3%. Right?
Right. So we're going to, the subtotal would be 360?
Yes.
Okay.
Then the next part of it is,
It's a little over 2 points, yeah. A little over 3 points, excuse me.
right. Okay, then the next part is, again, the fund balance. You know, I have the sheets, Amber, and I understand, looking to the future, that if we take it out now, how's it going to affect us next year? I mean, it seems to me like we have a very healthy fund balance. I'd like to recommend we take $320,000 to offset the taxes. That would give us a total of $680,000. And what does that come to?
680 divided by 124,500, which is the magical number, right, we're using, 124,500. Anybody have the calculator, what's there?
5.46.
5.46?
Yeah.
And where are we with the current?
So right now, after all your changes you put in, I show 10.9. Then
10.9,
I think you actually are pretty,
5.46.
Wait, the 10.9 counts, includes some of these, it probably
All
includes.
the remove. Yeah, I was gonna say, deer reduction's already in there.
Yes.
IT,
Yep.
and then you just today took out the hydrologists, the comp plan consultants.
correct.
And that got us down
Okay.
to 10.9.
Okay, so then it really becomes 205 and 85.
I knew that was too good to be true.
290, so it's another 290.
290, okay.
290 plus
What's another
320.
290?
In other words,
48?
I thought the 205 was the ARPA money?
1.6.
oh yeah, I'm not 205.
Want me to put in the 205
Yeah, take that. You're just doing this on the cover.
cover? So if you put in the 205, you're down to 9.1.
No,
That's-
no, then you have to take out the 85. The hydrologist and the,
It's already
oh, you
in
did
there.
take it out?
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's the 9.1 with no general fund balance pull from anywhere.
Okay,
And last year, our general fund pool was.
oh, with no general fund.
Yeah, there's no fund balance pull yet.
right. So you were looking at 320? Is that what you were
That's
looking
what I
at?
was looking at, but
Another two.
If you did the 320, you'd be down, you'd be at 6.2.
so the bottom line is, how secure is the 320,000 fund balance number to use?
Yes, I need to,
I think we should use 245 and 2. Oh. Because I'm in favor of increasing the facilities.
but right
Well, we're
now-
doing that anyway, but that's not going to affect the budget.
It's in effect, so,
Yeah.
I get you.
Last year.
But I don't understand when they gave us this one. In the 2023, how do they project that?
Just based on our budget,
Oh,
which is what I need to do, but I need to incorporate the 2022, and I was concerned that that analysis did not,
I thought it did. Didn't we get something from the auditor? The big change in,
The North Ferry.
the big change in the fund balance was the CPF money was spent. But that's why it looks like it went down, because that money had
Here.
the overall fund balance, yeah.
Yeah.
There's unassigned.
We're gonna review the.
yeah, and that's what I was gonna do this morning when I thought the meeting was at 1. So when I found out at 9:20 that the meeting was at 10, I was like, okay, well, no time for that. Should have gotten up earlier.
We could take a.
So last year,
We can meet after.
last year, or do you want me to?
Oh, definitely, we have to.
Yeah,
You have last year's?
Yeah, I'm looking at last year's right now, just to see what our polls were. We were very conservative last year. Showing, have you built in this, the 67,000 from the cell tower money?
Mhm.
So that's part of
before
it.
the
320. Okay, and then the green options, that little tiny bit.
Yes.
We also need to review what's getting pulled from waterways monies. Do you have anything there yet?
No,
Okay.
but it's all in the budget now.
Yes,
Yeah, we can
all,
go over that.
all of the expenditures in the budget
Right.
pull from the fund balance. Waterways fund balance is not reflected yet.
No, but we
shall
show
anticipate.
the revenue in the budget now. Whereas like in the past, we didn't.
Oh,
We started doing that last year.
Right, so then it wouldn't be like a, oh, it's just.
Yeah. Yes.
Shelby, do you have that number available, the WMAC fund
yeah,
balance?
I'd like to look at that separately.
Now, let's make
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
list of what we need. Let's take a break
Yeah.
and then,
Back at 1?
we come back at 1:00. No, you can't do it?
That's not enough time. An hour and a half to we do something tomorrow. Just because I'd like to take the afternoon and work with Shelby, and if we need to call the contract accountants or just check on something.
Tomorrow, are you coming in at 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock for the PEP thing? Want to do it before or after that?
I wasn't going to be here for PEP because I've got another meeting.
Okay, all right.
So let's make notes of what we need to.
I'm good for the afternoon tomorrow.
I'm good for the afternoon until, if it's before 3.
Well, PEP is still 2, right? No, it's still 1.
One, yeah, but then you have to go get lunch or something. You need to,
1:30?
can we do it from 2 to 3?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. All right,
Because it's really just fund balance, waterways.
all right, all right. So we'll schedule something for
Yeah, thank
2
you.
o'clock.
It just,
What other questions? There was BJ, we wanted to read.
I got 3
Questions?
questions here. I'll go over there
Okay.
right after this and
Fund balance.
get them answered.
Please. Anything else we need to know for tomorrow? We said we go back. Oh, I had a couple that I did. Underlined. Recreation Department, we were gonna take Bethany's salary equal to Kelly's.
Right. We didn't do that?
yes, that was a thing there.
Okay.
I have that
There
updated.
were a few salary questions, I think. Yeah, I think Shelby's got them in there.
Put in Bethany's.
So, friggin' tomorrow, yeah, I got a 2:30. You guys,
We'll do it Wednesday.
I have notes on a lot of the salary stuff. You also needed the health insurance.
I got a doctor's appointment at 2:30.
would it be better- Thursday, is Thursday a better day? Is it-
Thursday. You know,
You don't want to go with Thursday?
no, I mean, we go later today? Is 3
Yeah.
o'clock today or something, or 3:30 or something, to get it done today?
Getting it this way would be good. We have CPAC at 6:30, so anytime before then.
Yeah, I have some prep to do for that, but
I do too, but I'll do it in this gap.
yeah.
I don't know.
We have to have this thing done by Friday, right? Otherwise, budget.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't want to go down to that.
Yeah,
Or you
Amber's,
what, or-
Amber's on the
or
line.
can-
I don't know if she's had a chance to just double check.
Or can we,
talking before
can we
the-
meet before PEP? Can you do
No,
a 9:30?
I can't be here before
Okay,
that.
okay, all right, okay.
Yeah. Well, could we do Friday and then? Yeah. We need to have a special meeting.
On Tuesday.
Oh, with special meetings on Tuesday?
But everything has to be done Friday so that it can be posted, right? For the,
With the right amount of time?
yeah.
Yeah, I think that,
I know Amber was going to check that. I don't know if she had enough time.
Yeah, well, I just, it was, so Tuesday we can do special meeting and she will post by Friday. So on Tuesday it should be Saturday.
Right. So could we meet on
We
Friday?
found 3
how about, if we stick with tomorrow, I mean, I Dr. Point at 2:30, I should be out of the.
That's Thursday.
No, it's Wednesday.
Oh,
So, I mean, I could be back here at 3:30.
Yeah, and I can, if need be, I can move my 3 o'clock on Wednesday.
I have a
Back to
4 o'clock
Thursday.
E-tip meeting.
You're 4 o'clock, Mike?
E-tip meeting,
Okay.
Green Options has their first meeting with the E-tip grant, so that's at 4 o'clock on Wednesday.
Okay.
But I have like all day Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, Friday's a better day for me, but
Um,
if need be,
What time is it now? It's 11:30. So, I mean, I can either come back later this afternoon, 2 to 3 o'clock on Wednesday, anytime Thursday, or really anytime Friday.
2 to 3 on Wednesday, E-tips at 4?
E-tips at 4. So
So
2 to 4, anytime 2 to
Yeah.
4.
2 hours on Wednesday.
Wednesday
So,
might be too much, just because if we've got PEP and we've got,
yeah.
we're trying to cram too much.
It's a lot of
Too much into
brain
this room.
transitions.
Yeah, and too much into this room.
so is there any possibility for, let's
Friday.
look at day by day. Any possibility for late this afternoon?
Yeah, fine with me.
But it depends on if Amber feels like she.
Yeah, I feel like Ben Shelton and I are going to be rushed trying to just think through. Just,
So the celebrity chef thing is tomorrow. What about anything even after that? 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you want to come back?
Well, there's a ZBA meeting at 7:30 on Wednesday.
No, I'm talking today. I'm going day by day.
We have a CPAC meeting at 6:30 tonight.
6:30, that's okay, okay.
Celebrity Chef is tomorrow anyways.
Yep.
But there's that, oh, E-tip, okay. So there's an E-tip at 4.
Yep.
So
Let me see if we have.
there might be 1 to 4 as a possibility, but you have to do lunch, so then we're talking 2 to 4. If we're going to piecemeal this, we should maybe entertain that.
All we're waiting on is to know how much of the fund, how much we can take from the fund balance and where we are with the WMAC funds. So I think,
But there's also just double checking the health insurance piece.
Yes, that's big.
So that's another calculation. That's why I'm saying,
so. Why don't we take it to Friday?
yeah, because I mean, want to.
Because Thursday's no-
Time
yeah.
Yeah, Friday early?
Yeah,
Well, we have a meeting with the comp plan consultant at 10.
And
Right.
also there's, this.
and we have a CPAC meeting at night.
ADP is also meeting in here at 10 on,
At 9.
At 9.
oh, at 9 on, oh, ADP got moved to 9?
It's on a calendar, I don't know, I'm not part of the meeting, I see.
We're meeting at 9 with Melissa, and then 10 o'clock is our call with Gabe, which is an hour. So
Okay, all right. Got it. So,
at least 9 till 11.
okay.
So should we say 11:30 or 12 o'clock? 12?
Can you go with any of that?
Whatever you want to do.
And then we have a CPAC meeting at 6:30, so we have to be done by 6.
This
I think we can do it, guys.
should be an hour type of
is
thing.
the room being used Friday morning for anything?
Yes, ADP,
Till what time?
11.
So why don't we do it at
Then
1?
Okay.
1?
Yeah.
So there is nothing in between now and Friday.
Correct.
So we'll do 1
Just, if anyone's like you're checking with Reed on a couple things, feed it to Shelby.
It does provide some time to straighten some of that stuff out.
Yeah, so we're not meeting Wednesday.
Not for budget.
Right, okay.
And we also have a Monday possibility if there's still,
Right, if there's still something
Issues.
that needs to get sorted out.
okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, meeting